He can pull you out of your ears and say, no, you're wrong about that. And this is what I need you to learn. Go over here and read this. Learn something over here. He'll lead you to something someone else has written, and then he'll confirm after you've read. He'll speak to your spirit, a little small voice in your spirit talking to you, confirming what you just read. He'll often do that. He might lead you into some wild research, and you have no idea why you're reading somebody's junk at the time. You think it's junk, it's garbage. But then the light bulb goes off because there's a nugget in there that he wanted you to see. A little nugget. Out of all the stuff they wrote, there's a nugget that you can grasp, and he wanted you to hold on to. And he will lead you into very, very various places, because nobody has all the truth. The truth is here, the truth is there, and he will lead you here and there, and you grab chunks and chunks of nuggets and nuggets, and then you start putting the pieces together, the puzzle together. That's how we have so many denominations, so that nobody has the truth. Nobody has all the truth. It's departmentalized amongst the churches. One denomination has the truth there, and one denomination has the truth there. And there's not one denomination, period, that has all of it. And that's where they're all deceived, because they all think they're the ones who have all the truth. And it's pretty much just like our government agencies are, where they're departmentalized. One agency doesn't know what the other agency is doing, so they can hide what projects they're working on. That's exactly the way truth works. Pole shift question, my compass that points facing north has suddenly shifted. The needle of the compass is now facing south. What's up with that? Electromagnetics. Maybe we're all getting attacked by electromagnetics. I mean, it's just the way it is, folks. We're living in a nightmare of tech war against every citizen on this planet. Voice-to-skull technology, electromagnetic weapons, technology you can't even imagine exists, where they can just beam white beams into your house and zap you and fry you like a chicken. I've been a victim of that one. I've been a victim of a lot of the technology they have out there. And when you suffer enough is when you'll finally realize, I need to start asking the Lord how to stop that, how to defeat that thing. And what works for some people may not work for others. I've heard some people say that putting Mylar blankets on the windows didn't stop the beams from hitting them. Well, they stopped them from hitting me, so it worked for me. And plus orgoning an area. I remember back a couple years ago when I was coming out with my second book, Aliens on the Internet. And this is about the time the Lord had started showing me orgone and how to use orgone as a defense against their technology. And He wouldn't even let me send the final copy off to the publisher until I had orgoned my entire yard. And at this time, mind you, I had no idea. I still was thinking this stuff's new age, it's this, it's that, crystals, oh my gosh, I was still kind of against the wall on this one. But I had my yard orgoned before I even sent it out, and I didn't realize what protection that would be, because shortly after the book even was published and I started putting it online for sale, I was attacked by satellite weapons of some kind where they hit my house, and it was such a huge force, shook the entire house. I thought a semi-truck had run into the front of the house, because I was in the back of the house at the time. It was just a huge bang. And it came out of nowhere, just this huge bang. I didn't realize at the time it was a satellite weapon. And so I ran to the front of the house, thinking a truck had hit the front of the house, and there was nothing there. And so I went back to my computer. Sure enough, as soon as I sat down, boom. It did it again. And I half jumped up this time. By this time I was figuring it out. Just another one of their attacks. But that shocked me, It's the first time I'd experienced a satellite weapon attack. Just shaking the whole house, a huge boom. Probably would have blown the entire house up if I hadn't had that orgone in the yard. I don't know what the orgone did, but it did something, because all I got was a big boom out of it. Whatever they were planning for my house that day, all I got was a boom out of it. And people always say, well, why don't you just ask the Lord to protect you? Well, I did, and that's what He told me to do. He said, put orgone in your yard. See, folks, the Lord isn't always going to let you just sit on your butt and do nothing. When you ask the Lord for something and He gives you an answer, do it. Do it. These church pew Christians, that's why they drive me so nuts, because They sit on their butts in church, and then they go home and sit on their butts, and you know what? Noah got off his butt and built an ark. You know, the Lord said, I'm going to put rain on the earth, I'm going to flood the earth, and it hadn't even rained. It had been a drought for eons of years. And they say it took Noah 100 years to build that ark. It didn't rain. But he built that ark. Everybody thought he was nuts. They thought he was crazy. All it takes is one person, folks, one person, to stay faithful and listen to the Lord and do what He says. He can do it with one person. He can do it with 288,000. He can do it with 200 million. Numbers are nothing to Him. Numbers are nothing. But what does make a difference is, where are you in the record book of listening and obeying to Yah? Where are you in the records books? Because they keep records of everything. Everything you say, everything you do, the intent of everything you do. The intent. What's your intent of doing it? Are you doing it to please God, or are you doing it to make money? Your intent. You're going to be held accountable for that. That's why you have to be very careful, not crossing the fine lines about things. Don't cross the fine lines. Make sure your intentions are pure and honest for the Lord, that you're in this for Him and not in this for yourself in anything that you do. You're on this earth, but your priority is Him. Your priority is not keeping up with the Joneses, getting the big house in the suburbs, the fancy car. Your priority is to be a warrior for Him in these last days, because time is short, and you want to do what He sent you on earth to do. People want to know who's the elect. You want to know who the elect are? The ones listening to my show, because the Lord has led you to listen to the show, to be a part of my ministry. You're the elect. You're the ones He's trying to reach. You're the ones He's reaching. Outside the few government agents that listen to this for their amusement. And they know who they are. The problem is, most Christians, believers, don't know who they are. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is wake up an army. Not here to build one. I'm here to wake one up. And so it's time to wake up, folks. Anyway, going to close the show for tonight. I don't mean to scare anybody. People kind of get scared about what's coming, but that's just the way things are coming, folks. Yeah, some of these food bars. Somebody's sending me a food bar thing. That's survivormall.com. It's a good site for storing up stuff. My favorite site is beprepared.com. You also have mredepot.com. I know if you get tired of MREs, you can always go to the Mountain House freeze-dried storage stuff. I know. Best thing to do, folks, is like, just sit back and think, okay, I can't go to the store for the next 2 weeks, or I have one shot to go to the store and shop for the next 2 weeks. What do I want? And so you better be thinking about 3 months, 6 months. What are you going to want for 3 months, 6 months ahead of time? And the stores are closed, you can't get to them, can't buy anything. What would you need? What would you want during that time? And so that's the best way to start. Also, if your electricity would go out right now, what would you need? Candles, generators, those kinds of things. So make sure you have enough for a couple months. I'll just start working that way, folks. Anyway, until next week, Yah bless everybody. I'll be back next Monday night at 10 o'clock. Until then, pay attention to the websites. I'll be posting on my blogger this week. Anything else the Lord has me reveal, I'm trying to get back to posting on my blog. And also during the day at SherryTalkRadio.com and a couple of different sites from 11 or 12 o'clock on in the afternoon. You can listen to archives running all day. Or you can just go to my site and click on the links and listen to my archives. Until next week, everybody. God bless.